So I do know what the news of the day is this time. It's the Queen. I assume that's like worldwide news because I was watching. It's kind of like the Olympics, but they call it the Commonwealth Games. I was watching replays of some of the track and fields from the Commonwealth Games. Maybe it's only track and field. I don't know if they have other events or not. I basically watched the track and fields replay on YouTube, and there were a lot of countries there. Like Jamaica was there, the like sprinting powerhouse Jamaica. They were there. Like Canada was there, Australia, New Zealand. I mean, and more than that, there was like countries far and wide. I mean, I don't know if it was everywhere. I don't remember all of the countries, but it was quite something. And this was the Commonwealth Games. And I believe that the Commonwealth is associated with that monarchy. Now, I'm not an expert on monarchy, so don't quote me on anything. And in fact, don't even consider it factual. I don't want to get in trouble saying the wrong thing, but my understanding from watching old movies was that the king is basically the largest landowner. And the reason he's the landowner, and the reason that is because the laws, they come from like I'm not an expert on that either, but they come some like common law, which is based on property rights. So when you hear people talk about this is like popular in the communist movement, they'll say like they want to abolish owning things. Well, you can't. I mean, somebody has to own them. They might abolish you from owning it, but someone still owns it, and whoever that owner is, they're gonna own a lot of stuff. So like, I don't really know a lot about the king or the queen of England. I guess right now it's King Charles. But I would say that you hope that he's not going to be duped. Because if the reason he's king is because they're the largest property owner in the Commonwealth, well, then let's hope that he doesn't fall for one of these like swindles, which could come from anything. Like a lot of people talk about now, like climate change and carbon neutral and all that stuff, and like that could be dangerous territory to get into. I think that in addition to owning the land, like it needs to be like, I don't know if this is exactly the case, but I have heard this term like allodial title, and it's like that's the person who owns it. He has like an allodial title. So like when you or I buy property, it's not only does the bank own it, the bank only owns like the lease to it. So it's like we're like really far removed from what the queen or now the king owns. And what he owns gives him his basis in law because the law is based on property rights. I mean, uh, again, I actually never study in any of this. It's just kind of things that I heard here and there and what kind of makes sense. So don't quote me on this, any of it. But that's my understanding, is that if the king is a simple-brained moron, which let's hope that he's not, and someone sells him some bill of goods, and as a result, the ownership transfers, somewhere else, that could be incredibly bad. I mean, you may not like property rights, but you have to recognize where they exist in the foundation of everything, all the like structure and laws that we live under today, because that could all go away. And this is why a lot of people talk about in America, and it's not even like America because it's the corporate world. Just a lot of it happens to be in America. People buy these. They put their money in the 401k, and the 401k is like managed by somebody, and then that manager owns the common voting stock. So basically, these people who are just managing your pension, and you think they're just like balancing a spreadsheet, They're actually in charge of the voting rights of all the major corporations in the world. Okay, I found the spot where we're supposed to be. Right here, this number 110 that looks like a kind of a controller. That's where we're going to spot. So, again, as I said, you might read some books. I know there's this guy, what is his name? Mark or something like that. Mark Milley, is that his name? He like goes to Congress and he brags about how he reads communism books. This guy potentially is one of the morons of the world, because you cannot make capitalism going away. You cannot make capitalism go away by supporting communism. All you can do is make yourself a serf. There's still going to be ownership. There's still going to be property rights. They're going to belong to. You cannot insist that you're in charge of the game. The owner's not going to do that. They're not going to do that. That's not how it's ever going to work.